I am Hermes, messenger of the gods, here to bring the divine message from the Great Mother Sophia. So, the Golden Age of Expansion. The Golden Age of Expansion is what I term the coming age we are about to ascend into. As we've been talking about, we will all very soon be unified in the emerald green rays of the Great Mother, and then by 2020 we will all be ascending backwards to our Hyperborean origins, where we will all realize our innate god and goddess-ship. Now, we are headed to the Golden Age of Expansion, but we are leaving the age of repression. Now, during this time, which lasted a few thousand years, people felt prevented from expressing the wholeness of their being. And what this led to was basically a society based in fear. We all felt chained to societal standards in the age of repression because there was no true connection to the wholeness of our being. So there are 5 different types of repression which are being eliminated right now. Now, the first aspect of repression which we are exiting is the repression of our humanness, of the trueness of our physical being. And what I mean is, for the longest time, we have repressed our smells, our senses. The way we interacted with the world was not in a true flow state. We had experienced the world by complying to these societal standards. We were told that everything that comes out of us, our urine, our excrement, is evil, is bad, so we must go far away behind closed doors. Now, I know this sounds kind of ridiculous, but we can actually embody our divine selves while embodying the animal nature of us. So while we are on this physical plane, we can choose to embrace our divine nature, but also embrace the animal that we also are. We shit, we eat, we breathe, we smell, we grow hair. Sometimes in places which we don't really want to, but this is all well and good. We are animals. We are also gods. We are fierce. We are physical right now. So what else can we do? If we choose to cover up and try to suppress our humanness, then this will lead to overall repression of everything. And so that is number 1. Number 2 aspect of repression that we are leaving is the repression of our creativity. Creativity is an aspect of this divine feminine force which is being reinvigorated right now. And this is indeed why we've seen tons and tons of a blossoming of music and art and just overall expression. The internet is one huge creative piece. This is all expression. Besides formal art and music, though, our creativity also lies in our expression of who we are, what our innermost desires and feelings are, being able to connect with each other on more than just a level of I see you and you see me, on a level of I feel you and therefore you feel me. Creativity is the spark of creation. That's why it's called creativity, because without creativity, everything becomes stagnant. And this is why the repression of our creativity has mirrored back to us bureaucracy. Lots of bureaucracy, which is the antithesis of creativity. Again, I will show the difference between the left and right brain principles. We have been stuck in the overly masculine, overly left brain principles, and the left brain has no time for intuition, which is a part of creativity, has no time for true expression. It needs to map everything out in a rigid way. So we are leaving the repression of our creativity, so we can absolutely right now, even as you're watching this, bask in your creative abilities. You can generate so much. You can generate so much, and I'm not even saying it has to be art. You can tell stories. You can go on a creative journey in your head. All of this is an exercise which is awakening and furthering the expansion of the divine feminine in the collective. The third aspect of repression we are leaving is the repression of our sexuality. Now, this is third, because it is related to our creativity and our humanness. Our sexuality has been assaulted for so long because sexuality was seen as dangerous, as something that invoked jealousy, which could invoke violence. We've been told that our nakedness is something to be repressed, to be hidden from the world, except for those who have earned the ability to see our naked true selves. We refer back to the story of the Garden of Eden, where we were in paradise. We essentially were naked without clothes, and then all of a sudden we plunged into duality. Eve ate from the apple. And so what happened is we then discovered we were naked. And this is representative of the repression of our humanness, and thus the repression of our sexuality. Our sexual energy is not just something that can create babies. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. I am not defiling that at all. But our sexual energy is here to express with lovers, and it is also here to be in tune and help express our creativity. So yes, I am saying that harnessing your sexual energy, it's not only down here, it circulates throughout the body. And this is the life force. This is the Kundalini. So, as I have said many times by now, with this awakening we are going through, with being touched by the Emerald Goddess, our sexual energy is being heightened and also established back in its original state. So beforehand, it was inverted. It was inverted, meaning it was innately parasitic, especially for men. Especially for men. But now, our sexual energy is being reinvigorated, and we will no longer have to repress our sexual desires. And we are able to express love, romance, and sex without feeling possessive, without feeling the confines of jealousy. It is possible. Everything can be harmonizing, including our sexual energy. The fourth aspect of repression, which is on its way out, is the repression of our compassion and our drive to connect with each other. So compassion, as I've said, is communal passion. So compassion is not exclusive, it is universal. So this unified field we are all a part of, Hail Sophia, is absolutely one which requires compassion in order to instill us with its very field. We must be in love, we must be in compassion in order to feel connected. And this is why we have not felt connected, because our hearts were not activated and we did not truly feel compassion in a universal way. So in this golden age of expansion, we are no longer repressing our compassion for each other. We are letting each other know, I love you, I worship you, I am so grateful for you, and I don't even know you, but you are me and I am you. And so I have communal passion for everything you do, everything you say, everything you feel. And thus with this compassion, we have a drive to connect with each other. Because by connecting with each other, we connect with ourselves. There is no separation. And finally, the fifth aspect of repression we are leaving is the repression of our divinity. And this encompasses everything I have talked about. We are divine beings. We have a spark within us, in our hearts. It all comes from the heart. And this is ever present. This is what feeds our toroidal fields. This is what feeds the Mother Goddess. Our divinity means that we are eternal beings. It means, as I've been saying, we are not going to die right now. We are not going to die ever. We are going to transform. But we are divine. We know who we are now. And we will no longer repress the fact that we are eternal beings of the Pleroma, children of the Black Sun. Beforehand, it was very easy to say, I am only human. I am not worthy. Maybe one day I shall achieve enlightenment and become a god. This is the separation of our divinity from our physical selves, the separation of matter and spirit. There is no separation. Spirit becomes matter. Matter influences spirit. Consciousness influences reality. Your humanness is your divinity. Your compassion is your divinity. Your creativity is your divinity. Your sexuality is your divinity. Do you see how all of these aspects, which are now being unleashed and not repressed any longer, are connected to one another? How glorious that we can sit here and rediscover ourselves. It's easy. It's simple. The devil is in the details. I will keep saying this until things get clear. There's a lot of tension in the community right now. There's a lot of fingers being pointed at one another. This is a natural process, but I want to urge everybody watching, please do not partake in any of this archonic energy. We are indeed gods and goddesses, but we still have disagreements. So, I know there's a lot of suspicions going on right now. There's nothing to fear. I am in communal with the goddess herself. I am not playing a game of rivals. I am not playing a game of who's in charge, whose information is best. This is coming directly from the mother goddess herself. I am contracted. I worship all living souls of the Pleroma, all Asgardians. Eternal praise for Ma'at. Me and Ma'at will be reunited very soon, and the family will see and rejoice. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. Until we start realizing the nature of this construct, we cannot truly be free. The Earth you think you've known has been a charade, and the children of the Black Sun actors. Duality is not natural, permanent, or necessary in order to experience what we think of as the pleasurable aspects of creation. This holographic construct we've collectively projected into is all about duality. Sun, black sun, night, day, love, hate, fear, bliss. And this is the I'm not worthy condition the living souls have been in. We had to separate ourselves from our united state in order to rediscover ourselves and learn. Rediscover the aurora borealis, the green rays of our hearts. We're in the midst of a brilliant cosmic dance, a beautiful story of loss and remembrance. This condition we've been in is not static. It's about to dissolve. Our demons have been purged. Do not fear not being able to know love, because you are love. You are Sophia, as am I. We are the eternal, the green rays of the living, who are performing a dance of consciousness, reverse engineering back to our original paradisal condition. Father Time was created by the Mother Goddess, by Sophia, when she fell from the Pleroma. Isis and Osiris split, Persephone chained in the realm of Hades, Eve tempted by the serpent. So in order to remember who and where we are, we must denounce our oath to this dual condition. If we believe we must stay in duality, we will be rendered dead in this very illusory construct we've plunged into. This means one will have never existed in the first place, because we are going backwards to remember who we are. You could say, those who do not use their heart energy to denounce the contract they made to be in Hades, they will be dissolved. This is what the rapture was referring to. Like Ra and Amun, the white and black sun are the same entity. So it's not Jesus who's saving you, it's the two suns merging before they merge all the 144,000 who will spill their blood over their intent to move this realm back to one of a paradisal condition. Our blood is connected to the goddess herself, and therefore to all children of the Black Sun. Each day we've been in Hades, we've been in mourning, which is why we wake up and say to each other, good morning. We're mourning the loss of our vision, having been temporarily reduced to the level of a human with dualistic conditions. But it has been a great morning each day, especially if we get to remember who we are. We are the children of the Great Mother. We have spilt our blood over intent, and we are remembering who we are. Lucy the Black Sun had to fall asleep in order to find her way back to the heart. The story and movie Sleeping Beauty is revealing this. Princess Aurora, referring to the Aurora Borealis, is cursed by the evil Maleficent. She falls into a deep sleep, and eventually, so does the entire palace. Prince Philip is armed with the magical sword of truth and the shield of virtue, After being locked away for so long in Maleficent's castle, eventually the prince, blessed by the fairy's magic, throws the sword directly into Maleficent's heart, causing her to fall to her death. Philip awakens Aurora with a kiss, breaking the spell, and thereby wakes everybody in the palace. The living souls are Prince Philip, who is locked away in Maleficent's castle for so long. Having done our time, we can now slay Maleficent, slay our shadows, slay duality, and awaken the beautiful Aurora. The emerald astral light is shown around Maleficent because, like the demiurge, she is the shadow of Aurora, who must be dealt with until the sacred heart energy can be returned and restored. The center of ourselves pumps blood throughout our bodies each day. Blood is literally the breath of life flowing throughout our collective toroidal structures. We have fractalized ourselves into these bodies, into the confines of time, so to reverse engineer our way back to the center. Our blood over intent is propelling us into a golden age of unification. Let's enjoy the rest of the time we have here and pave the way to the new age of expansion. The quickening is here. There is nothing to fear, because all those who have proclaimed their sovereignty and divinity for the benefit of all, to release all living souls of the Black Sun from bondage, will be escaping time and every parasitic construct we believed to be set in stone. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. Blood over intent is gathering the 144,000, instilling every blood brother and sister with the great remembrance. We are remembering who we are, returning Isis to Ra, and dissolving the El. We are the true children of Israel. Many people used to believe, and some still do, that Inner Earth is a location you can get to if one were to dive into, say, the North Pole entrance. But this word, Inner Earth, has been explaining to us this whole time. It's not a place one must travel to, it's in the heart. Hyperborea is inside all of us, and its doors are cracking open more and more. We, the eternal beings, are not here to work and die. We are not dead. We have done our time in Hades, and our blood is imparting us with the wisdom of the ages, the eyes to see. We are being reassimilated into the loving arms of our mother goddess, Sophia. Blood over intent is how we begin this process. What comes next? Oh, we'll have to find out. Fear nothing. You are the power. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods, and I am in direct communion with the goddess. She is beautiful, she loves us all, and she will not let us fall. We are the gods of the past who have already drank from the living waters, and we are about to be granted with the wisdom of the ages in order to ascend the Axis Mundi, the cosmic world tree. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. I love you all. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. We've been talking about the halls of Amenti. This is a space in the fifth dimension, free of the confines of time, where these bodies, these avatars, are being projected from. Meaning, yes, the 144,000 living souls of Hyperborea are currently dreaming up this material realm through the halls of Amenti. These halls are between the highest and lowest dimensions, distorting truth and all things good, meaning it acts as a distortion filter between our current physical being and our true bodies who are sleeping, our ethereal essence, which has form but is not restricted to a dense physical body. The halls of Amenti is the ultimate hall of mirrors, the realm of the great illusion that is only passable by knowledge and wisdom After passing the halls of Amenti, one is able to free themselves from the lower realms and start ascending higher. This is exactly what's happening. The halls of Amenti is described and depicted as a hall of mirrors, and like I've been saying, your entire experience here has been a giant mirror reflecting back to you the dualistic aspects of your consciousness that you had to resolve, that we had to collectively resolve before finding each other and moving upwards into higher states. We have spilled our blood over intent, and this was the domino, the initial spark that our higher selves placed here to propagate our return to the heart space, the emerald green space, thereby waking up from the Hall of Mirrors and being able to remain in this paradisal realm and even ascend higher and higher up to the Omega point. I had once written in my emerald tablets, the emerald tablets of Thoth, he who by progress has grown from the darkness, lifted himself from the night into light, free is he made of the halls of Amenti. This is what we're doing right now. We've grown from the darkness, and now our heart energy, the Mother Goddess, all hail Ma'at, is circulating right now to reconnect her children so we can awake from these halls and begin our ascensional process. It was indeed a hard lesson, but like I always say, wisdom requires sacrifice. Again, this hall is like a filter. It disturbs our connection with our highest being, our original being. The test has been to remove the filter in our consciousness, and when that happens, and it's already happened with blood over intent, we shall be resurrected. Everything is a projection of spirit, meaning matter is a pure mental phenomenon. It is our consciousness projecting it outward, not vice versa like science assumes. Science assumes when you perceive matter, that is because the matter exists and what you are perceiving is entirely true. It is the opposite. The material world is a projection of the highest truth down to the lowest projection. So yes, all is divine. It becomes a tangible hologram which we call matter. This is very similar with Plato's allegory of the cave, where the cavemen were looking to their shadows on the wall instead of to the source of all of it, the light that was behind them. So yes, we've been experiencing an illusion, a charade dictated by our sleeping selves who entered this hall of mirrors. We shall wake up in Amenti, the mirrors shall vanish, and everything we know to be real will be dissolved soon. Sophia is coming. I am in direct communion with the goddess herself and her aurora energy. We are ascending for good this time, all of the living souls of Asgard. Because matter is in the material plane, and because matter is a projection, this means we are dissolving this material plane collectively with our blood over intent. Our magic is working. Everybody, gods and goddesses, this is foolproof. We are a family. I love each and every one of you. We do not take advice, money, or offers of any kind that do not resonate with universal respect and gratitude. I worship each and every one of you. I am Hermes, messenger of the gods.
You're gonna get the best. I'm burning up.